Welcome to another episode of the Ridgeback's Rumble Talk. And we're joined by the fantastic athlete from the women's badminton team, whose last name is named after the sun itself, which is pretty interesting. So we're joined by Ashley. Ashley, how are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Fantastic, definitely. It's a pleasure to meet you. And
Yeah, you too.
definitely, if you don't know Ashley, of course, Ashley is part of the women's badminton team. And Ashley, do you play in the singles, doubles, mixed doubles? What is your role on the badminton team?
For our team, it really just mixes around. So kind of everywhere, wherever the coach decides to play me for that game. So,
Okay.
but I think mostly doubles.
Oh, okay. Is that the one you like the most? Like you tend to resort to that most times?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let's talk some more about that later on then. But before we get to that, you're from Ottawa, right?
Yep.
Perfect. What's it like in Ottawa?
Cold. A lot more colder and snowy than Toronto. Not too fun. I keep going and getting beaver tails now that I'm back home. But other than that, there's not too much. Like unless you
Hmm,
want to go for a tour at the Parliament.
interesting. Yeah, that's true. A lot of government stuff down there every day.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
okay. And then altogether, just still on the introductions, you're in your fourth year of software engineering, right?
Yep.
Pretty intense program. Good for you.
Yeah.
And you're also the former VP of Women in Engineering as well as NSOC, which is pretty elite too. Lots of leadership thrown in there as
Yeah.
well. That's
Been
great.
lots of fun.
And fun fact, apparently you used to work at Harley Davidson as well.
Yeah, I did that during school for like over years. It was really interesting, like selling motorcycle gear and whatnot. I had nothing, like no knowledge of it beforehand.
So what led you into that?
Oh, I was literally applying to like every single job I found on Indeed. And then I ended up getting a call from Harley Davidson. I'm like, why did I apply to this? And then I just went from there and I got the job. So I'm like, okay, I need money. So sure.
Of course. Any way it works. And it does sound like bikes are fun once you start getting to know them more. So I hope you enjoyed your time there for sure.
Yeah, lots of interesting stories and customers.
Oh, you have to tell us one of your best stories for sure before we end this. All
Okay,
right,
okay.
Ashley. Okay, let's talk some more about the Ridgebacks then. But I want to ask you just a few questions again, get you warmed up before I start asking the more detailed questions, of course. So, who would you say you get along with best on your team?
Shiyu from the women's team.
Why do you say it's you?
Um, hmm. I don't know. We just get along so well. Like we're good friends. Like we talk outside of like practices too and everything because like the team's gone through so many different players in the last couple years,
Oh,
like new people, and Shiyu's been there from the start too. So it's been nice.
okay, so she's a veteran in the team. That's good.
Yeah.
Solid. Okay, now let me kind of throw a curveball then. Since you said Shiyu, we're not going to talk about Shiyu. Let's talk about every
Okay.
other person on the team too. So I want you to just play a little activity and describe every other person that's on the badminton team from your perspective. What are your thoughts on them?
Every single one.
Yeah, it could just be like two or three
Okay.
words. It doesn't have to be detailed.
Okay. Um, this is hard. Who was even on the team this year?
Good question.
Um, I'll start with the girls. Okay, so just describe them?
Yeah, just say like, oh, this person, this is the funny person. Oh, this was a really kind person. That kind of thing.
Okay. Um, I'll start with with Norbert. He's a really smart one on the team. Also kind of weird at times. There is also Brittany. Um, she also makes me laugh a lot. Just she like presses her bread together like for her sandwiches and like rolls them up and then eats them and like
What?
just compresses them weirdly. Yeah.
What?
It's really really
Oh,
strange, but and she brings the snacks. Um,
okay.
who else? Yeah, there is Alyssa who joined recently. She's so athletic and just picks up everything naturally. There is I think that's it for the girls.
You can stop at the girls, honestly. We don't need
Yeah,
to go into
I'll
the
stop at the
guys.
girls. I don't know who
Forget
else.
about the
There's
guys.
like so many people. Yeah.
Yeah, who cares about the guys? Let's throw them away. So,
Oh wait, there's Emily. I knew I was
oh,
missing one. There's Emily. She's always been so great and such a natural at everything. Like I wish I could play with like her.
oh, that's a very strong compliment. I hope she sees this.
Yeah.
So now looking like you guys have a very good dynamic going on in the whole team. You're pretty familiar with them, but how is it? How easy is it, or how difficult has it been maintaining that kind of balance and relationship and jive or energy in the whole team during the pandemic? How has that been like for you?
It's been hard. We had a lot of rookies this year. Like we normally have a group chat going, but this year we didn't for whatever reason. So it's been hard to like keep in contact with everyone. So yeah, like some of them, and I'm also in Ottawa, so I haven't been able to like go to strength training with everyone. So I've just
Mm,
been training on my own and just chilling, just talking to whoever's there.
yeah, just doing your best, doing the best you can, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, that's really all we could ask for in that sense. But
Yeah.
from Ottawa,
Everyone's so far away.
I
Yeah.
know. Since you're, of course, like you said, you're far away in Ottawa, but you still keep on your training going and whatnot. So, what does a day in your life look like as a student athlete?
Um, a normal day right now, well, I'm working full time on an internship, so I like start my day doing work, and then whenever I have classes, I like cut out into that, and then normally after my working hours is when I start like training and doing my fitness on my own.
Yeah.
And with badminton, it's like it's in small gyms, right? And so with COVID, I haven't been able to get into the gym yet and actually play any badminton, which has sucked. So it's really
Mm.
just keeping up with my fitness right now.
Oh, okay. Off the court stuff mostly. That has
Yeah,
been like that for you. That's interesting.
yeah,
All right, fair enough. Of course, once again, like that's the most that you could do. Whatever
yeah.
you can
It's
do,
so tough.
just kind of go with it in that sense. But let's look more to happy days. Why keep it so gloomy with the present
Yeah.
now? What are some of your highlights that you remember from the previous season before the whole sport, let's just say OUA, had to get shut down temporarily?
Hmm. Highlights was OUA's, the one that just passed. We were lucky we had it in February. So right before everything got shut
Yeah.
down, we went to U of T, I believe. So we actually stayed in a hotel that year. So like all the other years, we would go to Toronto at like 6 a.m., leave at like 7 p.m., and then go back in the morning. So it was always so exhausting. So just having a hotel and actually like getting the night to like bond with the team was definitely a highlight.
Yeah. The hotel trips with sports teams, those are always fun for sure.
Yeah.
Did anything interesting happen? Like any funny stories?
Um. Hmm. Not nothing too insane. Just like random dancing, random singing, and just
Oh,
like seeing some of the other teams in the hall and just like talking to them and meeting them.
yeah.
Nothing really funny.
I mean, that does sound good to you. You get to see the other side of them off the training sessions, off the court, and it's always a great
Yeah.
bonding experience, like you said. So
Yeah.
you mentioned dancing, you mentioned singing as part of your previous statement of some of the things you did, I guess, in the hotel with your teammates. So I want to jump into another section, kind of the questions I'll be asking you. Just a
Mhm.
few rapid questions just to go by. What would you say is your secret talent then? Is it dancing, is it singing, or is it something else?
Playing Tetris. I'm really not good at singing or dancing, so none of those at all.
Okay, just
But
throw
I
that
I
off.
like always play Tetris for so long, and I can go for like hours. So,
Wow. And you've never met anyone that's better than you at Tetris.
Um, I mean, like I play online, so there's people that like beat me, but like
Oh,
out of my friends, no.
okay.
But like I always Google once in a while, and like, how can I make money from playing Tetris? Like, are there tournaments that I could go into and money that I could win? And there's never really anything.
Oh no. That would be pretty awesome, I could say. That's like the
Mhm.
perfect side gig or like side hustle you could just do. Like, oh, okay. I mean, put
Yeah,
it to good
yeah,
use, right?
Yeah. Some games, like, you could win thousands of dollars in, like, just competition. So I'm like, why can't I do that with Tetris?
Yeah. True. Maybe one day you could be a pioneer for that. Let's see how things go. You can see a
Yeah.
world Tetris champion, Ashley's son. But yeah, we'll just watch and see how it is. So this is
Yeah.
kind of like an opposite question to then ask though. Of course, you mentioned one of your favorite things to do is Tetris. But some people also have pet peeves, for example, just random things that tend to annoy them. What would you say are some of your pet peeves?
Um, I think just slacking, like, especially in school and you get, like, thrown into random groups, like, if someone's there and they're just not pulling their weight, like, I get so annoyed and frustrated, or especially if they're like, "Oh, like, I'll get it done today," and then they don't anyways, and they keep, like, making up excuses. It's so so frustrating.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I
a
know
big one.
those.
Yeah, I think everyone struggled with that, unless you're that person.
Yeah. I could say I've been on both sides of it. I've been the one who's slacking and the one who has had
Mhm.
to suffer from the other slacking. But it
Yeah.
balances out. It is what it is. I hope you don't
Mhm.
hate me for that though.
No, I feel like everyone's been on both sides, but some people are like more on one side than the other. Like,
I see. True.
mhm.
No one's perfect in that sense too. But
Yeah.
speaking of perfection though, apart from let's say there are no slackers or slacking involved in your own day, how would you describe your perfect day away from school or anything else?
Hmm. Like, what would I do in my ideal day?
Yeah.
Um, hmm. I think I would wake up, like, do my morning workout or whatever, because it like really helps me wake up and not feel lazy for the rest of the day. And then, but on the lazy side, I also just love sitting around and watching Netflix and watching movies and shows. So that would probably be incorporated somewhere around there. Oh, and I've been loving Animal Crossing. I don't know if you've played it
Oh
yet.
my god. Everyone I know has talked about that. I know I'm the only one who's never played that.
Yeah,
Literally.
but it's so much fun. You should start playing. You could add me. We'll start playing together.
Oh
I would
my gosh.
definitely do that in my ideal day too.
I feel like it's something I'll get addicted to. Should I still go ahead and try it out?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was so addicted. Even my mom got addicted. So,
Wow.
uh, yeah.
It's a family movement
Oh,
now.
yeah,
Yeah, what
it
else?
was such a family thing. Oh, and I love shopping. So I like if COVID
Mm.
wasn't a thing, I would definitely go to the mall and just go shopping at like Aritzia, Lululemon, all my favorite stores.
Okay.
And yeah.
So what would you say is your style then when it comes to shopping? Let me just kind of jump in and start off with that then.
I think it's really just Aritzia. Like that's my go-to store. Like I only really shop at like Aritzia for like everyday clothes, work clothes, and then I go to like Lululemon and Adidas for athletic clothes, and that's about it. Those are like the two stores I only shop at.
Okay.
So if you know like the Aritzia style, like that would just be me.
Good thing you like have that on lock and you're very specific about what you like. And I have to ask this question. Why did you choose Adidas and not Nike? You could have chosen or Puma or anything else. Why Adidas? I'm curious.
I think I just like I grew up playing sports, and my mom always just like got Adidas for me. So it's just since I was a kid, I never just switched.
Okay, fair enough. Something you just grew up into. Okay. I always just
Yeah,
ask people that just to see.
yeah.
But you said you speaking of work though, you said you get work clothes from there as well. I wanted to just ask this question too. What's it like being in a promo vid or a commercial? If you know what I'm talking
Um,
about.
for the co-op,
Yeah.
um, it was a bit nerve-wracking at first. Like they sent me the questions like ahead of time, so at least I could plan it out and whatnot and what I was gonna say. But at the same time, I was like, how much of this is going to be in there? Like, should I redo this question? Am I allowed? And it's also consulting, right? So I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if I was allowed to like say certain things about some of the projects I was on or who we were
Uh,
working on for it. So it's kind of like I would record the question and look at my manager because he also did it with me. And I was like, am I allowed to say that? Should I redo that? So it was interesting. It was an experience for sure.
yeah. I could see that. It did look fun eventually. And don't
Hmm.
worry, Rumble Talk is pretty open, unfiltered. You don't have to worry about anything. So,
Okay.
different
Is it
experience.
you that like cuts the video to post?
Oh, I'm not that talented. I'm not.
Oh,
I don't really do video editing or anything. Like I always tell people, I just talk, and that's literally all I can do. But
yeah.
it's something still.
Yeah. I
No
mean, you
doubt.
must enjoy doing all these like video things. You're in
Yeah, I
all.
guess it's it's pretty fun meeting people, especially new people I've
Yeah.
never met before, because
Yeah.
there's
Because
always
even like
something.
you and me, like we've talked over chat on like LinkedIn and whatnot, but like we never actually met or like talked face to face ish. So this
Yes,
is interesting. It's nice.
exactly. So when I said it was a pleasure to meet you at the start, I was not joking. Definitely. That's great. That's great. So let me touch on something else though. Were you?
Mhm.
I want to ask you this question. Were you sad that CNE got canceled this year?
Yes.
How sad?
So
How sad were
sad.
you?
So sad. I love going on like the I don't know what it's called. The thing that goes through the sky on the line.
I can't
Help
remember
me.
too. I cannot
Yeah, so
remember.
I love going on those and just playing all the games and eating all the good food, like the deep fried Mars bars. They're so good. And the deep fried cheese curds. Just anything deep fried from CNE. It's so yummy.
Are those your favorite things to eat in general? Just in general, or like maybe
Um,
fast food or junk food, or just anything?
no. I think my favorite thing ever is chips.
Okay, what kind?
Like jalapeno chips, ketchup chips. Those are my two go-tos. I've been loving salt and vinegar recently.
Okay,
Oh, and Cheetos. That's about
yeah,
it.
Cheetos are solid. So let's paint a scenario. You're sitting down at home in your perfect day in Ottawa, and you're watching Netflix with a bag of Cheetos or chips next to you. What is your go-to show that you're gonna watch?
I love Jane the Virgin. I've already seen it and I just keep rewatching it. I probably watched it like 3 times over in like the past
Wow.
2 years now. So like whenever I don't know what show to watch, I just end up putting on Jane the Virgin on like a random episode.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if I've never watched it myself? I mean, it's been recommended to me multiple times, but if I was to start watching this, or anybody was to start watching this, what is that one statement or one thing that's really special about the show that would catch my attention?
Hmm. One thing that's special. I think it's just the way that it was, even just how it was edited all together. Like they use a bunch of different like effects throughout the shows. Like they put text on the like screen as like jokes that you just read for fun and whatnot. So it's like kind of interactive too. Like other shows I always just like start playing on my phone, but this one I like really just love to just watch it and see what the different effects they put on and yeah. I think it's really cool and different.
Okay, that does sound different enough. I haven't seen anything that looks like that. So that's good to hear. Okay, okay, that's interesting. Now we've been able to paint many different sides of Ashley as a person. We've spoken about, your life as an engineer, spoken about CNE, spoken about shopping, spoken about food, your friends on the badminton team, so many different sides. But I like to ask people some questions sometimes that get them thinking, just for no reason, literally, but
Mhm.
just to get them thinking nonetheless. So I have 3 questions I put together just for you specifically. No, it wasn't just specifically. I just searched them up randomly, but I'm gonna ask them to you either way. So the first question I have for you is, how old would you be if you did not know how old you were? You just woke up out of a coma and you forgot your age. How old do you think you are?
And I had to like guess it.
Yeah.
I would probably say 18. I also just sound very young. So if I was just like hear my voice to myself, I'd be like, wow, I'm definitely not like 23.
Okay, fair enough. I can see that. Okay. So let's see, jump to the second one. I'm just gonna breeze through them. Not too much thought on it. Let's say, okay, not in a depressing way, but let's say you could only live for 30 years at the very maximum on this earth, and you could restart your life from scratch. not from this point onwards, well, how would you live your life differently?
I would drop out of school. Like assuming that I had enough money to like keep going and not have a very good profession. Like because in software engineering you're always thinking like, oh, I'm gonna make so much money, right? So I know a lot of people hate retail jobs, but I actually enjoyed my retail jobs and like getting to talk to people and like dressing them and like finding what they need and whatnot. So I'd probably do like a part-time retail job and like just go around exploring and just traveling all the time.
Yeah, traveling is definitely something that would definitely be a non-disclosure, like done deal.
Mhm.
That's going to be on the list.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I would
I
go
agree.
everywhere. Hmm.
Where would be the first place you would go to?
France.
France, yes.
Yeah. So
Where in
I speak
France? Let me ask.
um I would just go to the cliche and go to Paris first, and then I
That's
think
good too.
probably like meet people and see where they recommend to go, like locals. And
Okay,
see.
good. It's a good starting point. And sorry, you were gonna say something before. Did you say you speak multiple languages
Oh,
or what?
yeah, I speak French, so I think it'd be cool to actually like, go and use it in like a full like French environment. Whereas here, like I don't need to use it, so I just don't, right? So whereas there like to get around, I would probably just use it and see how good my French
Okay.
actually is.
Ok, d'accord, d'accord. Je voudrais pratiquer mon français avec toi. Bonjour, Ashley.
Okay. Bonjour.
Comment ça
Comment ça
va?
va?
Oh,
The
je veux
typical
bien.
one. Yeah,
Et vous?
très bien.
Très bien. I can't remember the rest of what to say, but that's a good start. You can make friends with just that alone. So we'll just leave it
Yeah.
at that. Okay. And as promised, the third question. What would you say your happiest childhood memory is?
Hmm. This one is hard.
Take your time.
What is my happiest one?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's probably not my happiest, but something that I really enjoyed doing was like when my mom would bring us to the mall, they would have like a jungle gym to like drop off your children to get like taken care of.
I know
So
those
I love
ones.
like yeah, I love running around because it was huge and it was just like a huge like store with like jungle gyms and like different structures that you could go on and like play with other kids. So that was a happy time.
Exactly. I agree. And children just bond with everyone they meet. I find it pretty
Yeah,
surprising how they do it.
yeah, like
So
they don't care. Like they'll just play tag with whoever's there.
exactly. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the second round, and I just have 5 words I want to ask, but this is how we're going to do it. I just want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind when I say these words. When I say school, what comes to mind?
Tough. Tough.
Okay, let's do another one. Summer.
Hot.
Hmm. Jersey.
Blue. I've always
Hmm.
been blue since
Yes.
like high school.
All right. Okay. Sun.
Me.
I have to put that in there. Okay, and the last one, Starbucks.
Yummy.
Yes.
I have my Starbucks drink right
All right. That's the spirit. Okay. So this is just the last part. This part I just want to talk more then about your upbringing, your family, the people who have influenced you, all that wholesome stuff, the fun stuff, all that kind of thing. And
here.
who are some of the people that have really played a major role or really influenced who you are today as a person in your life growing up?
Definitely my sister. So even like going to university, she went into engineering, and then I kind of just followed her footsteps to go into engineering too. Do you hear that?
Oh, that's
My
another
dog.
person who's influenced you.
Let me close my door real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if you could still hear them.
It's pretty faint, but it's okay. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, they're really loud. Yeah, so my sister, she went into engineering, and then I really like followed her, and then even like her style, like I like her style. Like she goes to Aritzia too, and that's how like I kind of started doing it too.
Oh, I see. So it was like
Yeah.
just passed
So
on from your sister, and you
yeah,
just
like a big sister, little sister.
interesting. Okay. And then also, does your sister come to watch your badminton games as well? Has she seen you play before?
No, because she's in Ottawa, so she
Oh.
never like traveled for it. I think she might have back when I was in high school a couple of times, but that's about it. She used to play with us like when I would go and like just to an open gym and play, and then she would get the birdie like smashed at her, and instead just she would just like catch it. Like if you're quick enough to catch it, you could just hit it. So she didn't last very long in badminton.
Oh no, that's funny. Okay, so I want to ask this other question too. How would you say how would your family describe you as an individual?
um, hmm. I think they would describe me as sweet.
Okay.
Hopefully, the one with a good heart out of me and my two other sisters. Um, yeah, I don't know. That one's
that's
tough.
that's a good answer. It just sums up the whole thing. It's not like you're saying, "Oh, they think I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and this," and you just make a whole list. You just said one
Yeah,
word,
that's
just
too
sums up
much
everything.
effort.
That's good. That's good then. All right. All together then, how would you summarize your life story up until this point? If we were to do that in 1 minute, and this is just an activity I like to do, just to get you reminiscent about your past.
Hmm.
How would you
Like tell you
summarize your
my
life?
whole life story in a
Yeah.
minute.
And that
Um,
means you just include the key events so it fits into a minute.
okay. Okay. So I was born in Ottawa, grew up in Ottawa, ended up going to UIT because I wanted to move away from home and just get my own like freedom and independence. I joined the NSOC as a VP, and then the year after, and like women in engineering as a VP, and then right after that, I joined the Ridgebacks for badminton. So that was really cool, joining a whole like sports team that's at like a university level. And I've also done a couple of internships to like gather up my experience. So hopefully, once I graduate, I'll have a job. And yeah, that's a what other key ones. I used to play competitive soccer when I was younger too, so that was a big part
Okay.
of my life. So that was most of it.
That's perfect. Perfect summary then. And in fact, on that note, then, how would you like to summarize, or what are your last words you'd like to say during this call or during this conversation, just to wrap up everything
Uh,
perfectly?
it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun, like actually talking to you and meeting you, like for real this time. And yeah, that's about it. I hope I
Perfect.
gave you good content.
Oh, definitely. Lots of talking points to go into.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's been fun. It's like it's interesting how like the social media for the team has like changed for like the Ridgebacks since everyone's in COVID, and so there's like all
uh,
these talks and stuff, and you actually like know more about the people.
yes. So it's been a blessing in disguise for sure. And your fans are definitely going to come rushing in to get your autograph soon. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
All right, perfect then. Thank you very much, Ashley. It was a pleasure. Again, now I say it, and now you
Yeah.
have the context to show that I mean it. Meeting
Hmm.
you, and thank
You
you.
too. Thanks.